Hi, I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to walk you through Canva. If you would like to make some awesome designs for free and to do so easily, then you've come to the right place. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is go to canva.com. And when you get there, create an account or log in. You can also link a Gmail account or another account like that in order to log in as well. So now we're to our main page in Canva. There's a number of different things here, so let's break them down one by one. First of all, it's good to remember that Canva comes in two different versions, a free version or the premium version. Now, of course, you got to pay for the premium version, but any tool or template that has this crown on it, you can see that, that means that it's only in the premium version that you can use that tool or template. But most tools and most templates are within the free version, which is very helpful. So now below that, we have our templates. Now, the nice thing about Canva is that you have, as it says, millions of different templates to choose from. So for instance, if you wanted to create a YouTube thumbnail, then you could simply search for YouTube thumbnail and it would bring up a template already for you. You can go into different sections. Say if you want a presentation template, you can click here and it can open up a few different options for different presentation templates. Or you can look this way, go into posters or resume templates or email templates. You have a number of different options of how you want to do that. Now on this page there's a number of different items essentially to give you inspiration for designs. But for right now, let's just keep it simple and pick a template and get started. So let's say that we wanted to create a Facebook post. Well, we could go to social media, click that. Now we have a number of different options here. So we've got quick actions. Now, see the little crown here? That means that these are for the premium accounts only. So we're going to skip over those. But if we go down to popular, then we can see that Facebook post is right here. And what's nice is that it already has the formatting that we need. 940 by 788 pixels. It's the size that we need. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do that. We left click that. So now we're into our design. What can we add to it? Well, let's begin by going to this Elements tab. If we left click that, we'll have a number of different options right here in this section. So we can search for elements. Say if there's something specific that we want to search for, we can search for it. We can look for different categories of things like rectangles, frames, squares, and so forth. We can have AI generate images, which is pretty neat, but we'll talk about that in the future. We can see recently used items, or we can browse categories. So let's say we just want a simple shape. If we left click shape, then we can see different shapes that we have at our disposal. Basic shapes, lines, polygons, stars, arrows, flowchart shapes. What if we just get a simple speech bubble? So if we just click it, hold, and then drag it, it is now in our post. If we left click on it, we can do a few things. We can edit it. That would mean that we would go back to this section and pick another shape, but we don't want to do that. We can change the color. If we left click here, we can change the color to, let's say, a nice blue. So we have some default colors here. If we click see all, then we can see all the different colors. Or we can add our own color in this box here and then add our color this way. But for right now, let's just stick with light blue. The next option that we have are stroke styles. So what this does is it adds a line around the shape. So in this instance, it's a black bar all the way around the shape. We can change the stroke color. So if we want to change it to something like purple, we could. Don't know if that looks the best, but heck, we can do that. What if we kept it to dark gray? Yeah, dark gray. We can change the width of the stroke. So we can keep it at 4. We can go all the way up to 51, but I don't think we want to do that. What if we just keep it to Nice round number, 10. Okay. The next thing that we can do is corner rounding. Now, what this means is that these corners will get softer and more rounded the more that we go up. Or they'll become harder and more squared off if we're at 0. So let's round them just a little bit. How about 14? There we go, 14. Here we can adjust the font of any text that we have within our shape. For right now, we're going to skip over that because we're going to come back to it here in just a moment. But there's a few other options here. The transparency button can make a selected object more transparent or not transparent at all. If we click on See More, we have a few different options. Animate is one of them, but we're going to come back to that one. So now we talked about adding text into our post. Let's do that. Under Elements on the left side, underneath that is the text section. If we left click that, here we have a few options on inserting text into our post. We can simply add a text box, which is pretty nice. If we left click that, now this box pops up where it says your paragraph text. So we can type in something like hello. So now we've got text into our post, but let's make it a little bit snazzier. So we can highlight the text. We can make it bigger by going up here. We can change the font style. So if we left click on Canva Sans, we have a few different options for the text that we can add to it. What if we add Laura? I like Laura. But what if we want to make it bold? Make it bold. We can italicize it. We can make the alignment to the left, to the right, or stay in the middle. Let's stay in the middle for now. But what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to move this text into this box so that it sits on top of it, and then I would like to make the text white. How do I do that? Well, it's pretty simple. You just click on the text, and then these two options here pop up. You can rotate the text if you want to, and just flip it around like this, but we don't want to do that. Or we can move it by hovering over this button, left click, hold, and then drag. Now what's cool about Canva is that it will give guides for you to kind of help you to align things properly. So if you notice right there, those dotted lines that come down the middle, that's telling me that I am in the center of this icon here. But what I'd really like to do is get more towards the middle of it. And that's about right. It's a little bit not exactly where I want it. Sometimes you just got to work with it. I want it up just a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so we've got our text where we want it. The guides can be very, very helpful, especially when it's a more simplified shape. This one's a little bit more complicated, but now, how do we get the text white? If we left click the text and then go up here to text color, it brings up these color options again. We can go to default solid colors and just select white. And there we go. Hello there. So let's look at a few other options that Canva provides. The brand section really has a lot to do with businesses and logos. A lot of this is in the premium section, so we're going to skip over that for now. But then there's the uploads section. If we left click that. Now here you can upload files and insert them into your design. So for instance, these are files that I have uploaded in the past. Those look familiar? So you can do that in a few different ways. You can just simply have the folder open to the right of Canva, that window, and then drag the file into this section and it will automatically upload it for you. Or you can left click this button which says upload files and then specifically pick a file and it will upload it for you. Then you can just simply drag and drop it into your design and you're good to go. So uploading files is very, very easy. Let's go to the next section, tools. The tools section presents a simplified way of doing some of the things that we've talked about earlier. So for instance, if we just want to select something, click that, select it and move. Now here's just a tip actually, since I just did that. Let's say that you want to move both of these together. Now if I just left click here, then it just moves that, and then the text is not there anymore. So what we can do is we can either left click in the open area and then drag this selection box around it, and then we can move it together. We can do that. Or if we have a number of different options and we just want to be specific about what we pick, we can do this. We can left click one of them, hold down the shift button, and then click the other one, and then they move together. Since we're on the subject, there's a few other things that we can do with this object that kind of give you a little bit of flexibility. If we highlight them all, we can choose to group them. Now what that means is that right now we've got the text, hello there, and the speech bubble, and they're two separate things. If we choose to group them in this toolbar that pops up here, now it's one item, and we don't have to worry about them becoming separated. We want to ungroup them, just hit ungroup. Now sometimes, especially if we're working on a large file, whatever it may be, we have a number of different elements within it, and some of them we don't want to be adjusted. So just imagine if this whole page was full of little designs and then we highlighted everything and we moved it, that wouldn't be too good. So Canva allows us to lock certain items in place. So if we press the lock button, now this is locked. So this cannot be moved now, which is very helpful if we have multiple layers to our design. If we want to unlock it, we just hit the unlock button, and now it's unlocked again. We also can duplicate the design, trash the design, or if we hit the more button, we've got other options like copy, copy style, duplicate, delete, lock again, group. We have a number of different avenues that we can go down in order to get our design to do what we want it to do. Okay, so that's selecting items. There's also the draw tool. So we can draw as we want. We can erase as we want. We can pick our different color, the different settings for it. Very, very useful. We can pick different shapes and add them in there, and it will use the last color. We can add different lines into our little post here, and then if we drag them around, we can connect them to different things. We can add sticky notes, just add text to it. Very nice. We can simply add text just like we did earlier, or we can add tables like we would have, say, in a document or a spreadsheet. Now as time goes on, you're going to have different projects that you work on in Canva, and you can easily find them and open them by going to the Projects tab. Now before we close out our video, there's one thing in Canva that's really fun to do, and that's animating objects. This is how you do it. Select your objects. This toolbar pops up. Let's go to Animate. Left click that. So we have a few different options here. We can make the object rise, pan from the side, fade in, pop, wipe, blur. We have a number of different options, and they're fun to play with. But what if we do tumble? I like tumble. So now when this is selected, it will tumble into the frame. Now we can go further with the animation, but a lot of this has the little crown icon, so that tells us it's in the premium version. On the free version, we only have simple animations, but for us, that's just fine. But one of the final steps for anything in Canva is sharing the post or downloading the post, however we want to do so. How you do that is going up to the share button here, left click that. Now you've got a few different options here. You can add people or groups, to your design, whatever it is. So for instance, if you want to collaborate with someone on something, then you can add their email address and they can be invited to work with you on the post. Or you can copy a link to the post and then someone can see it that way. Or we can download it, and that's what we wanted to do here. So when we select download, now we need to pick our file type. Now, if we had not put in the animation, we could have easily downloaded it, say, as a PNG, as a picture, or a JPEG, as a picture, or even as a PDF if we wanted to. But since we inserted the animation, we need to either make it an MP4 video or a GIF. That way that animation still is retained. So let's say we just make it a GIF or a GIF or whatever it is. We can increase the size of it, but only again with the premium account. And we can make the transparent background, but only with the premium account. So from here we can simply download, and it will download that GIF, and we're good to go. Or let's say that we just wanted to download it as a simple picture. We don't want to do the animation. That's okay. We left click file type, go to PNG, and then we can't really adjust too much in terms of the size and the compression, because remember the template that we picked was for a Facebook post, so it automatically makes it 940 by 788 pixels. So that's okay. We just click download and the file will download. So now that we know how to download the file, there's a few other options up here that we should look at. We can preview what the animation would look like by simply clicking this button, and we see it. We can quickly add individuals to share this document with so that we can collaborate with them by clicking this plus symbol here and adding their email address. If we want to upgrade to the premium version, we can click here. We start a trial first, but then we can go to the premium version if we wish to pay for it. If we want to adjust the name of our file, we can do that right here. So it's automatically going to name it hello there, but we could just name it test file and then press enter. This icon here with the cloud shows that all changes that we've made have been saved to the cloud so that we know that we won't lose anything if we exit out of this page. These are the undo and redo buttons. This is the editing button. Now, let's say that you were invited or you invited someone to collaborate with you on a design. If they're in editing mode, then they can adjust things, they can change things, or they may be in commenting mode where they can simply add feedback to what they see. Or maybe you share it as viewing only, to where they can't edit it and they can't comment on it, but they can see the design. So again, like Google Docs and other applications like that, you've got flexibility on what the other user can do and what they can see. To resize, that's in the premium version. If we would like some more settings in regards to the file itself, we can click on File. Here we can also rename our post, and it tells us a little bit about it, that this originated as a Facebook post, it's by you, and the size of the post. We can create a new design, upload files, view the settings here, accessibility settings here. We can move it to another folder within Canva or make a copy, see the version history, move it to trash. We can do a fair amount here. Now, we didn't really talk about these other features on the side here, but just briefly so that you know what they are. The apps section lets you add different apps into Canva so that you can perform additional features. Some of them are premium only, some of them are free, but a lot of them are very, very, very neat and useful. Magic Media allows you to use AI to create things and then insert into your document. Captions are great. Say if you have a video that you upload into Canva, you can ask Canva to automatically add captions to the video for you, and it makes it a bit easier, and you can adjust it from there. There's other tools that may be listed here. For instance, this one says Pixelfy, and it can adjust the image in different ways. but it's just good to know what's on this left sidebar. Now down at the bottom are some pretty neat little features it's good to be aware of. We can make notes, say if we're trying to keep track of everything that we've done, or if we've got a list of things that we need to get accomplished, then we can add our notes here. If we want to set a timer for ourselves, maybe if we only want to work for 30 minutes on the design, then we can set a timer for 30 minutes. It will go off and then we'll know that we're good to go. If we want to zoom in and out, we can use this slider here. Zoom in and out, make it a bit bigger. We can show page thumbnails. We can show a grid view if we have multiple pages in our file, whatever it may be. So we got some more options down here too. In future videos, we'll delve deeper into what Canva can do, but for today, that's a good place to stop. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan, your tech guide, and I'll see you on the trail.